Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to look at Unit 9, Lesson 2. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to solve equations using the inverse operation of multiplication and division. Now, in the last lesson, we learned that an equation is anything that has that equal sign, where two expressions, one on each side, are equal to each other. And we learned that inverse means just is a fancy math term for opposite. So the opposite of multiplication was division. The opposite of division is multiplication. All right. So here we have x divided by 3 equals 9. So we're going to, instead of dividing, we're going to multiply. So we're going to say 3, oops, get my pen, 3 times x over 3 equals 9 times 3. Well, we know that under this 3 is a 1, so 3x, 1 times 3, so 3 over 3 is 1. So that equals x, so we can cross them out, okay? And that leaves us with just x equals 27. So let's prove it. Remember, we have to prove it by putting it in. So we're going to say 27 divided by 3 equals 9, which is true. Okay, let's do the next one. So we're going to say 11 times, remember we don't use the x because that looks like another variable, times k over 11, cross these out, it gives us just k, equals 5 times 11. So k is equal to 55. Let's prove it. If I say 55 divided by 11, will it equal 5? Yes, it does. All right, now looking at 5 and 6, remember whenever you have a number right next to a variable, that's a fancy way of saying multiply, right? Because I can't say 6xy because then it looks like 6 times the x times the y. Looks like two variables instead of just one. All right, so instead we're going to divide. So I'm going to say 6y divided by 6 equals 24 divided by 6. So y, let's do these cross each other out, equals 24 divided by 6 is 4. Let's prove it. So 6 times 4 equals 24. All right, let's do the same thing over here. We're going to say 2 times 30. No, we're not. Miss Oakley forgot to look ahead. We're dividing. So 30 divided by 2 equals 2f divided by 2. And that takes those 2 away. 30 divided by 2 is 15 equals, all that's left over here is f. So let's see if this makes this equation true. So 30 equals 2 times 15. Yes, it does. All right, it is your turn to try. Go ahead and pause this video, work these 4 out. Remember to prove your work, and then come back and see if you got it correct. All right, for number 3, you should have taken multiplication. So you should have said 6 times m over 6 equals 7 times 6. And you said that gets rid of that, so all we're left with is m equals 42. And then to prove it, you should have said 42 divided by 6 equals 7. Okay, coming over here, you should have said 2 times 8 equals c over 8 times 8, or dot. Let's put the dot there instead. Otherwise, it looks funny. It looks like another variable, right? So crosses that out. 2 times 8 is 16 equals, c's all that's left. Let's prove it. 2 equals 16 divided by 8. Very good. All right, so here we have 8n divided by 8, because remember, it means multiplication when it's right next to that variable, equals 8. And we have to divide this by 8. This gets rid of this, so n, we'll put it down here, n equals, well, 8 divided by 8 is 1. So you should have said, you should have proved it by saying 8 times 1 equals 8. All right, last one. Dividing it by 7, divide it by 7. Okay, so 63 divided by 7 is 9 equals p, because remember that crosses it out. So let's prove it. 63 equals 7 times 9. Very good. All right, you're done with this lesson. Go ahead and head back to class craft, and I'll see you back here for lesson 3.